And we are live. Welcome to the Board of Education meeting of the Rhode Island Olivia McWilliam Independent School District number 2534. And we will begin today with our Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Pledge of allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll follow that with our mission statement. And the mission of the Bold School District is to provide all learners in the Bold community an education designed to develop the creativity, character, confidence, and skills essential to flourish in a changing global society. With that, meeting has been called to order and we'll begin with the approval of our agenda. There's one addition under the superintendent.
I'll just talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's okay.
Or do you want me to say?
Surprise?
Well, no, it's not a surprise. I thought Dwayne Hanson, our custodian, passed away about a week and a half ago at his home. It was a sad day. We got the staff together on the next morning and let everybody know. It's always tough. He'd retired about a month before. That just makes it a little bit sadder. Dwayne, as I told the staff, was one of the first people I met when I started working here back in 2016, and just really made me feel welcome, was always willing to kind of stop whatever he was working on to help my silly little needs. So just always really appreciated having him around. So it was very sad.
All right, thank you. So with that, we'll have the approval of the agenda.
So moved, Boleen.
Motion is made by Boleen,
I'll second.
seconded by Bowen. Any discussion or questions? Hearing nothing, we will vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion carries. Recognition of visitors to the board meeting. Thank you all for coming out tonight. We've got some community members and some seniors, and thank you all for showing up to support Bold Schools. We will move on to our public forum, and this is the place on each of our regular agenda meetings. And during this portion of the meeting, up to 10 minutes of time is allowed for district constituents to address the school board. Each person or topic may have up to 2 minutes of time, and this is a time of listening by the board. So if you would like to speak, please, come up, and I think the camera will pick you up over by Mr. Bowen. If you'd like to speak, this is the time to do so. No? Okay. All right. Thank you very much. All right, moving on to our consent items. We only need one motion to approve the consent items. And so for this month, we have approving the bills for payment and approving the minutes of the October 24th, 2022 regular meeting and the November 14th, 2022 special board meeting.
So moved, Bookbill.
Motion is made by Bookbill,
Second, Benson.
seconded by Benson. Is there any discussion or questions on any of those things? All right, hearing nothing, we will vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to personnel. Approve Braden Ortloff as the volunteer wrestling coach for the 2022-23 school year. I will make the motion.
Second, Boleen.
Motion is made by Hanson, seconded by Boleen. Any discussion or questions? Hearing nothing, we will vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Number 2, approve Morgan Plan as the C Squad girls basketball coach for the 2022-23 school year.
So moved.
Motion is made by Bowen,
Second.
seconded by Jacobs. Any discussion or questions? Hearing nothing, we will vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Number 3, approve Abby Esser as the junior high girls basketball coach for the 22-23 school year.
So moved, Boleen.
Motion is made by Boleen,
Second Benson.
seconded by Benson. Any discussion or questions? Hearing nothing, we will vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion carries. Number 4, approve moving Matthew Morris from a 1.1 FTE assistant boys basketball coach to a 0.5 FTE assistant boys basketball coach for the 22-23 school year.
So moved, Bookto.
Motion is made by Bookto,
Second.
seconded by Sheehan. Any discussion or questions? Hearing nothing, we will vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. Motion carries. Number 5, approve the resignation of Pauline Amsden effective November 1st of 2022.
So moved, Jacobs.
Motion is made by Jacobs,
Second Benson.
seconded by Benson. Any discussion or questions? Hearing nothing, we'll vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion carries. Number 6, approve of parental leave of absence from approximately April 12th, 2023 through the end of the 22-23 school year for Lindsay Rangel.
So moved, Benson.
Motion is made by Benson,
Second, Boleen.
seconded by Boleen. Any discussion or questions? Hearing nothing, we will vote. All in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. Motion carries. Number 7, approve medical leave of absence from January 3rd, 2023 to February 1st, of 2023 for Caitlin Sale.
So move Sheehan.
Motion is made by Sheehan,
Second Bookto.
seconded by Bookto. Any questions or comments? Hearing nothing, we will vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to reports, we'll begin with our superintendent's report.
All right, I don't have a lot. Most of what I would talk about is going to be with the school board committees, and I'll see what they have to say first. But I will point out that the MSBA conference is January 11th, 12th, and 13th. Amy has booked hotel rooms for all of you who are still on the board, as well as our 2 newest board members who I see are out in the audience here. If you are not going to be able to make it, please let us know right away. These rooms are expensive, so we want to make sure we're not paying for rooms we don't need to. Amy, how far in advance do you know?
I need to know the week before.
The week before. So if you know it's not going to work out, go ahead and let Amy know, and we'll get your name off of there. Snowmobiling. I've been talking a little bit about the program we've been trying to work on with getting snowmobiling going. And just the vision we had for it isn't going to work. I was hoping to come here tonight and ask you to give us permission to do some further programming with this, but having spoken with our attorneys, they're really telling us it's not a good idea. So unfortunately, we're going to have to go a different direction with that. But it's the kids have been working hard in there, and it's really impressive to see. If I don't know if Mr. Benson, did you have photos from in there? I don't remember if you did.
Are they
Okay.
building a snow?
They are repairing lots and lots of things. So they've gotten lots of great hands-on work in there.
Rob Vanderhagen has it on his Facebook, and it's amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah, make sure you're on top of that.
Mhm,
He's been. I mean, it's not usually he posts what he's smoking on the grill that day, but I would venture a bet that it's actually more about what's happening in that room, and it's been exciting, really exciting to see. He's doing good problem solving. The 8th graders have been working on these CO2 cars, and we ordered a launcher for them, and they finally called us and said, "Oh yeah, we don't sell that anymore." And so he had to, in a pinch, kind of come up with his own launching mechanism, and he was showing me that today. So it's good, and he's really making sure that the kids are getting a good program in there. So really appreciate that.
It's fun to watch this. Facebook page and see what's going on in there.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat.
Yeah, and I just can't emphasize enough how nice it is to have something for the kids that are really much more hands-on than others. So I know there's several kids that I've either talked to or talked about that are doing far better this year in school simply because they've got a focus, and that's awesome to hear. Any questions for me?
Thank you. We'll move on to our K through 12 principals report. Good, Mr. Ferguson.
Trying to hit on some of the positive things that are happening here at school. Other thing Mr. Vanderhagen's got going on there, they're building a corner of a house. It's really awesome to see. I'd love to show you guys. After the meeting, we can go and take a look at it. It's really great things. If you walk down our STEAM area, that's up and running again. It's up and running. You should see the kids' excitement coming out of there, working with their hands. That's been awesome. And then down in our art hall, it's just a white hallway, but this kids' arts projects, they're just lighting that area up. That's awesome to see. With staff, we're talking about our student engagement. That's been a huge priority for us. That's something that I start to see as we're walking into different classrooms. At our top, I think we've got it narrowed down to 7 right now, but it's narrowed. Those 7 could be combined into about 4 or 5. So that's going to be awesome for us to see and continue to narrow it down. We've got the 9th grade respect retreat coming up. I think this is the first time since COVID that we've done it. So 4 or 5 years. That will be good to get back up and going as well. That is happening on Wednesday. The K6 stuff the car, the squad car. Our K6 students raised 1 ton of food, 2,000 pounds.
Wow.
That was awesome to see. We had a first grader come in, 3 totes full of just dried goods. Should have seen the excitement of him walking down to the classroom with that. So that was awesome to see. We had parent-teacher conferences over right before break. Great to see everybody coming in there. I've talked about the migrant families, and I know we've talked about it. We had 15 students their families have moved already for the migrant family. I think that puts us down to about 623. So we're down about 4 students from our top number. So we're hanging in there and not just dropping because of our migrant students that are leaving. Subs are an issue. I put out a call 2 weeks ago now. I think I have 1 for the elementary, but it's going to take us probably till Christmas before they're going to be able to get into the classroom because of the state, get through the state and all that aspect of it. We're not the only ones. That is a huge issue right now across the country. So trying to figure out different ways to make sure everything's covered. It's kind of that. I've got a student success interventionist on there. Been talking about what we can do to help our students. That's what we're here. How can we help our students? Coming off of COVID, we've seen some academic needs. We've seen some behavioral needs. This person or this position, I don't have it in my board report. I'm sorry. It's one that's under my principal report number 1. I can get you a typed up copy of it. But we're looking to have somebody step in and help the staff and the students that are struggling there. This person or people can do multiple different things. They can go into the classroom and help with the students. They can pull out the students out. Just some more support for our students that need it. We've seen that need. It's definitely here. One other thing that I would like to talk about, not saying that we have to make a decision on this by any stretch of the imagination right now, but just something to put into our minds. Early outs for PLC time. Right now, we have been running PLCs for grades K through 6, basically twice a month. What I would like to talk about is having a PLC K-12 like once a month, an early out at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, just to give us some time to talk. Collaboration aspect. We want our kids to come out of here to be able to collaborate and do what's best for them. We got to give that time for our teaching staff as well. I know if you ask the K-6 staff right now, if we do it from after school, which the bus leaves about 3:15 till when their contract is done, we barely get into the meat and potatoes of what we want to talk about. So that 30-minute chunk isn't long enough for us to do this. Not asking for a ton of time, but just some time to sit and talk and work through it with our staff so we can better help our students as well. Question.
How much are you subbing this month?
A lot.
Is there like a website to go to that has like, that we list job openings that we have that we're looking for? So graduates from is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
St. Cloud is the biggest one. The St. Cloud College website.
So you just go to one website and then or do you go to like each college and say, you know,
So that's got all the postings on it. At one point last year was just under 10,000.
It's called Ed Post.
Yeah. Post,
Yeah,
yep.
it's where everybody goes.
It's worth checking it out just to see all the jobs that are
Absolutely.
posted.
We get the college or the students that are about ready to graduate, and I make a phone call to them basically when I get it. Most of them already have jobs from their student teaching. So that's kind of been a downer for me when I make that call and don't get anybody. But
so you don't like contact like St. Ben's education department saying, you know,
I've started to.
okay,
I've started to. The list of students that I get are it's from SMSU and St. Cloud. Those are the two ones that they send it to us. But I've started to reach out to others.
Is there any way we could use our Dean of Students more to maybe help utilize that position for an interventionist?
Yeah, we're right now we're looking at any way to better off to do what we have to do. It's not
An interventionist position could be funded through ESSER dollars for the next 2 years.
I was just curious, how many hours would that require? That's why I thought if we could have somebody in-house step up and do that.
60,
it could be, well, if it's a K-12 one, it could be every hour of the day. You know, it just depends on the level that we're looking at. I would want one K-12 or having two like K-6, 7, 12. You know, you want to hit the younger, I'm going to call it harder, because it takes, when I was going back to college or back to grad school, you can do a small group of younger students in a group of 3 to 5 in 30 minutes for like 100 hours. They have a better growth rate than the older kids at 1-to-1 in that 100 hours. So you really want to focus just lower to get them back on track.
One other suggestion too is, did you consider at all, maybe instead of doing early outs, the only thing that concerns me is, you know, we've lost so many in-school hours with the kids with COVID, and it'd be nice to keep them in for their full days. Talking with the staff and maybe doing your meetings early in the morning before school starts. It's not like you do them all the time, but just so it's periodic and just, then the staff's
Still
already
without
here
their
and it
contract
doesn't.
Still
Still
not
not
contract
contract
hours.
time.
Doesn't within the
Contract
contract hours.
hours. We do have meetings when we can. And a lot of the issue with some of my staff is they drive in, so early meetings are tough. And then after school, we've got a lot of coaches, so the coaching is tough. That was just a conversation piece. I just want to get that conversation
Right,
started.
absolutely.
So in this position, would we be paying them more? Like, or not that position, but no, with the teachers, you know, meeting, would we still be paying them over and above what they're getting, or they would still get what they're
It'd
getting
still
the
be
same?
that. Yep.
And the interventionist, is that one that would require like a 2 to 4 year degree, or just someone?
We want to certify.
Yep,
them.
okay.
Absolutely.
If you know Sherry Broderius at McCray, they started using last year some ESSER funds on, they were able to hire a retired counselor, I believe, from Owatonna. And she has been able to come in and just do some amazing things over there. And she works as much with, last year she was working mostly with helping parents working with their kids. And the big benefit they found was that she wasn't from there. So she didn't have any preconceived notions of like who this family was or whatever. But this year, yeah, she's working a lot more with the staff on how to work with some of these kids.
Oh, one more thing, it's the December, so we've got our December dress up days. It'll be fun. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right, moving on, we have our activities report. Mr. Plannis is here tonight, but if you have any questions on the activity report, please give him a caller. School board committee reports. Anybody like to talk about any committee meetings they've been to?
The facilities committee met with Nexus, and it was a good meeting. We had a lot of good conversation about what people want to see and what people don't want to see. I think it was a good discussion on, in that I think people got to say what they've been wanting to say for a while. The next step, and we've got it under new business to approve Morris Leatherman to do a survey for us. One of the last things that came out from this meeting was really using them to help find out what the community would like to see, how this should look, and which is what they were going to be hired to do anyway. But we're kind of stuck. We've got these 4 options that Nexus has presented to all of us, and what I don't like about calling them options, and I said this at the meeting, is that it makes it sound like we're going to either do this, or we're going to do that, or we're going to do this one. Whereas the reality is that it could be a combination in between or in addition to any of these options that they've put out. So at our next facilities committee meeting, we are going to focus on narrowing it down to 2. I prefer to call them ideas, because ideas are flexible and dynamic, and then use those as a platform to move forward with our survey. Do you guys want to? I think you and you were there, right?
Mhm.
Is there anything I'm missing? Took a little tour of the building afterwards.
No, I think you got it all.
I think as a board member, I myself would like to have some kind of meeting with the board here, because we're the ones making the decisions in the end. Not just 2 or 3 people from the facilities committee always going
You're more
and,
than welcome to attend the facilities committee meetings.
oh, I thought it would
You
be,
can attend.
You can
but
attend.
can't
You
participate.
can't participate because
oh,
Because that would be a
it would
quorum.
constitute a quorum, but we do post our meetings with an agenda, and so there's nothing saying that you couldn't be there.
but you can't say anything. That's the
Right.
thing. I mean,
Right.
as a
You're
board
just a
here, we
participant.
should be kind
You're
of getting
just a-
together saying what our thoughts are, what we think, and what we're looking at.
Right.
So essentially what it came down to is we want the community's input because there were so many different opinions.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So that's why we wanted to do this survey to say, because like, for my opinion, I'll tell you, like I said idea A, because that was just focusing on one school, because I felt like you had to have that option, because there are people that I've talked to that just want that option. And then it was A or B versus C or D, or the A versus B C versus D. And then I said C for the other options. But we all decided that we just want community input first to see what their thoughts were, because there were a lot of different opinions.
But are they gonna have a small percentage of the community input, or are they gonna send it out to everybody?
No.
I'll talk about that right now. That's an excellent question. This is a phone survey. And so the last survey we did was
Just
with,
listen.
was with school perceptions, and everybody and their brother got mailed out a survey to fill out. If you didn't get one, you could write them and get one mailed to you or whatever it was. But it's not a very accurate way to survey. And I think the results of the referendum showed that it wasn't a very accurate survey. So the way they do this, and it's in your, if you didn't get a chance to read it, it's in your board packet there, exactly how they do step by step, how they go through this. But they make sure that they use demographic data, because the last thing we want is inaccurate data. And while it's great to get a survey mailed to every single person, there's no way to guarantee who is going to send those back. Whereas when they do this by phone, they plan it out ahead of time who is going to get called. It's random. So they're not saying, I'm going to call Sandy. What they're doing is they're looking at demographic data to make sure that we've got a balance. If X percentage of the population is over whatever age, they want to make sure that same percentage is getting phone called. You also wouldn't want to only dial parents. You also wouldn't want to dial no parents, right? They do a fantastic job of making sure that you get a real accurate picture. If according to what they put in here, if there's a name that's on their survey and they can't contact them, they'll try to contact them 20 times. And if they just can't make a contact, they're going to find someone else to replace them that's in that same demographic.
Okay, so I'm looking at this thinking, they're gonna call you by phone.
Mhm.
How do they know what your phone number is? Because 90%
I
of
don't know
people
that.
have cell phones.
It says in there some are
Yeah.
cell phones and some are landlines.
They do
Yeah,
contact
because
cell phones.
Realistically,
They'll
They
call
have
your
them.
cell phone.
They get all that information.
Yep.
Yeah.
because I know people that live here that have a 605 area code cell phone
Mhm.
from South
Yep,
Dakota.
yep.
So how do they know that cell phone belongs in this area?
I'm sure
You
that's.
know,
Why they get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
That's
question.
why it's
Probably.
$1,000.
How do half the people that text us
Because-
get our cell phone number? Yeah.
And just one thing about the last survey that was done, part of the, this one does cost twice what the last one cost. And I hope it will yield better results. I do.
Well, and what Nexus told us is they were pretty spot on after they give you all their algorithms and whatever. He even said there's a gentleman that actually ran for, what was it, legislature or Congress or
I think
something,
it was
based
legislature.
on his survey algorithm, knowing he'd win, and he won.
Really?
And so he'll tell you, like, this is the
He did
percentage.
that for a master's thesis.
Yeah, yep. But it'll be like within that percentage, like they'll know if it's going to pass or not, or what
And-
people want type of thing.
And Nexus is paying half of the survey
Yes, they
costs for us.
So,
So actually, it costs us the same as it did last time.
So
Yes.
will the demographics also include that to make sure that they're actually calling taxpayers, the people that are actually going to be paying for the bill?
Yes, yes. Yep, that's exactly what they do.
so do we foresee, will this be hopefully the only survey that we will have to do then? Okay, we aren't foreseeing to have to do another survey in
don't know.
regards to other things
If-
that have to do with this.
Yeah, if we do this right,
It
if
should only be one.
Because according to this too, just so the public knows too, that they were approximately going to hit 400 households at random and ask like 50 questions
Mhm.
on here. The only other thing that I was hoping, like when we were at the meeting, they said that us in the facilities committee would probably be part of that. We could be possibly called. And I was hoping we wouldn't, because it'd be fun to get input from people that aren't part of the facilities just to see, because we all know, we've heard, we've
Right.
talked. but just not to include us.
But you still have your own ideas and opinions.
You certainly do.
You're still one.
You know, yours might be different than Jamie's or Todd's or Jim's or.
Yeah,
you're
we've kind of
still-
discussed that out
Yeah.
loud too.
Right.
When you think about the odds of even one of the facilities committee members getting called, it's not real high. There's maybe 10 people on the committee, and I don't know what the total voting number in the district is, but
only 400
it's,
people.
1,000 people, so 2,000 people, so.
What do they mean by each additional question beyond the initial allotment would be $200 a
Because
question?
if we ask more than $50 or 50 questions,
Yeah.
it's $200 for extra question.
We're not gonna be asking.
No.
Seems like 50
questions.
should
I was
be
gonna
enough.
say, aren't they picking the question, the 50 questions, so they know what
Well,
you're gonna know?
Yes and no.
No, we will, what I assume they're gonna do is they're gonna come and say, this is what we recommend you ask. What do you
I
think?
was hoping that too.
Yeah, we will have the final say on what is asked.
Okay, that's good.
But they're also good at, you pay people to do surveys for you because they know how to do them. And, they're not gonna ask a question like, do you think it's a really stupid idea to do this? Or, it's too easy to, if you don't know what you're doing, it's too easy to word something to slant someone one direction or another. So,
Right.
they're highly recommended. I know that they were discussed last time we were talking about doing a survey when Mr. Bransoy was here. I would have been, I still don't think anything would have passed, but it would have been interesting to see what came out of that. In fact, it may not have even gone to a vote because who knows what it would have showed.
All right, anything else from that committee or any other committee? All right, move on to pool report. Have you met? No?
And they're meeting today and I was unable to be there.
Yep. Teresa and Todd were there. Yeah, we met today.
Anything to report?
Not really, no.
Found in the report, so, all right. All
I
right,
will add though on the pool that from the facilities committee, I think it seems that the pool is something that's very important to the community. So,
She did have questions on how the pool with these new options, how will it be heated? So we have
yeah,
to talk,
I'll
we have to
find
talk
out
to
about
Nexus
that.
on
Yeah,
that.
I made some notes on,
Because they bought the boiler, the pool, I don't know, the pool.
joint powers agreement.
There you
There,
go.
yeah.
They purchased their boiler, not too long ago. So she was questioning that, will that just get thrown away or will it be heated by, because her concern was like, the heat is turned off on the school in the summertime, but the pool still needs to be heated. So,
all right, we'll move on to new business. Letter A, approve Morris Leatherman Company to perform a research telephone survey.
Solmo bullying.
Order number 5.
Second book.
Motion is made by Boleen, seconded by Buchtel. Any further discussion or questions?
When would this start?
Probably January, February.
They talked about maybe hitting the holidays because people would be home, but they were gonna wait and see. They were gonna talk to Letterman and find out what would be best.
Yeah, I think that's just too soon.
I do too, but
Yeah, if we were, like, the earliest we could go to a referendum would be May, which I think is way too soon.
I agree.
I don't think we'll be able to educate the community well enough in that time and get their, understand what their feedback is.
All right, any other questions? Hearing nothing, we will vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Letter B, approve the rescheduling of the December school board meeting from December 26th, 2022 to December 19th of 2022.
So move, Benson.
Motion is made by Benson,
I'll second it.
seconded by Bowen. Any discussion or questions? Hearing nothing, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Letter C, approve the recruitment of a student school interventionist position.
So moved, Pauline.
Motion is made by Boleen,
Second,
seconded by Sheehan. Any discussion or questions?
I'd like to personally see a little more information about that and the cost before
I would too.
we recruit someone.
And I just see what it's gonna
Do a little
cost
more-
us.
Just explore that just a little bit more so we have a full understanding what that's all gonna entail.
We can do that
And ESSER dollars will cover that whole.
for 2 years.
Yeah,
So after 2 years, any
Yes.
position, ESSER dollars are best for buying things
Mhm.
because you don't have to keep buying a thing.
Right.
If you buy a subscription, you pay for a new position, you're gonna have to figure out a way to fund that. So,
Mhm.
And the purpose of this is to help kids catch up from a couple
Yeah.
years of education.
Mhm. So even if we
But-
put it off till the next board meeting and
Yeah.
have a little more information so we could at least see the numbers and what it's gonna all entail.
maybe a
would be-
little discussion.
well, I would like to get it posted.
Is this just to look for somebody and just see what there is out there?
Mhm.
It's not to hire somebody.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
it would be creating a
Basically.
position that we could hire then, yeah.
I'd like to have.
Well, currently we have a
little bit
motion
more
and a second,
information.
and I guess it would be up to them to,
Well,
Want
we
to-
could go to vote and,
right, but I mean,
I'm
Yeah.
not resending.
Yeah, more information would be a good thing. Just would.
we could,
I
Bring that
think it's a great, I like the concept.
I do
think it's
too.
spectacular. I think it's,
how about we put together, if you vote it down, how about we put together a job description? and-
Yes,
Awesome.
that makes more
Can I
sense.
offer a parliamentary way out of this?
Yes,
Move to table it to the next meeting, because if you vote it down, then you cannot bring it back up.
Mm.
oh,
even if a motion and second are made, it can be
Correct.
moved to table. Okay.
Takes precedence over the motion.
Okay, thank you. You're gonna be well served with that
Yeah.
one.
I
it was like a ninja.
Yeah, parliamentary ninja. All right,
So Todd, you're saying somebody would have to make a motion right now?
Someone needs to make a motion second, then you vote on tabling it.
Okay.
And you need to say a defined time to when you're gonna table it to.
right, it's all usually just 1 month is all.
And our next meeting is earlier, so it's really only gonna be 3 weeks.
Yeah. Gives time to put something together too.
well, I'll make a motion to table this until the next meeting.
December 19th?
I'll second. it.
Motion has been made to table this until the December 19th meeting, seconded by Mr. Bowen, seconded by Sandy Benson. Any further discussion on this? Hearing nothing, we will vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. Thank you. And if you guys can get that out to us prior to that meeting, so everybody has time to read that, that would be wonderful. All right, moving on to letter D. Approve the 22-24 local union 1686, Council 65 AFSP, AFL-CIO custodial agreement. It's enclosure number 5.
So moved.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Motion is made by Bowen,
I'll second.
seconded by Bookto. Any discussion or questions on this? Hearing nothing, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Upcoming dates. Letter A, a regular school board meeting will be on December 19th, 2022, 7 PM. Right here. And letter B, organizational meeting of the school board is January 9th of 2023. Probably also 7 o'clock.
Agreed.
All right.
And don't forget about the school board,
Yes, your school
11,
board,
12, 13th,
it's right after that.
busy week.
Enjoy.
Not for you.
I'll be thinking of you guys.
Oh, all right.
Don't
So I have,
Don't you?
I don't have a resolution here, but we'll just kind of make it up on the fly.
You do.
Yeah, there's one in the back.
Would you like mine?
I would like one.
Here.
Anyway. So we need to adopt a resolution to acknowledge and accept gifts, grants, and bequests. And member
Only-
Jacobs. Oh, go ahead. Ooh.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Member Boleen introduced the following resolution and moved its adoption. Whereas Franzen Bank in Dry Island has generously donated winter clothes to the Bold School District, therefore be it resolved by the Bold School Board to gratefully accept these gifts. The motion for adoption of the foregoing resolution was duly seconded by member Jacobs. And upon a vote being taken thereon, the following voted in favor thereof. Sandy,
Aye.
Teresa,
Aye.
Todd,
Aye.
Tracy,
Aye.
Jamie,
Aye.
Brian.
Aye.
And I myself, I am an aye. The foregoing resolution was approved this 28th day of November 2022. Thank you very much. And at this point,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
thank you. Motion's made by Bowen. I will second that. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. 7:42.
Under
That was the-
45
I know.
minutes.
You guys
Oh my God, that was good.
Do we have, so we're supposed to have a truth and taxation meeting next week, that was
Continuation.